My name is Marcus Hayes, and at 42, I thought I'd crack the code on what a happy marriage looked like. I'd spent my days elbow deep in engines of Precision Auto Care, the kind of place where the smell of motor oil and burnt coffee is home, and every fixed transmission feels like a small victory against the world. The shop was tucked off a busy road in East Charlotte. Neon sign flickering, open 24/7. Guys in coveralls laughing over bad coffee, the constant whine of air tools and classic rock on the radio. I loved it. Afternoons were for coaching my son Tyler's little league team, standing in the red clay dust of the diamond at Freedom Park, yelling, "Keep your eye on the ball," while those kids chased grounders like their whole future rode on every swing. And evenings? Those belonged to Lauren, my high school sweetheart turned wife of 15 years, the woman who'd once whispered in my ear under the bleachers after prom that she'd follow me anywhere. We had a cozy split-level house in the suburbs of Charlotte, North Carolina. White siding, a backyard swing set that still creaked under our 12-year-old daughter Ava's weight, and Buddy, our loyal golden retriever who greeted every day like it was the best one yet. I pulled double shifts so Lauren could finish her nursing degree at Central Piedmont Community College. She called me her steady hand in a chaotic world. I believed her. I believed her with everything I had. But before I go any further into how that belief shattered, if you're already feeling that quiet ache in your chest, the one that whispers something's wrong even when everything looks fine, hit that subscribe button right now. These stories aren't just drama. They're mirrors, warnings, and sometimes the courage you need to face your own truth. And drop a comment below. Where are you watching from tonight? Charlotte's humid nights, a quiet Midwest town, or somewhere across the pond? Tell me. I'm reading every single one. That crisp January Friday in 2025, the air outside smelled like pine needles and chimney smoke from the neighbors' fireplaces. I'd had a long day at the shop, 2 brake jobs, an oil change that turned into a full suspension rebuild, and the usual banter with the guys about the Panthers' chances this season. I came home exhausted but happy, showered off the grease, and planned a simple night in. Just Lauren and me, since Ava was at her best friend's sleepover and Tyler was at his grandma's for the weekend. I'd picked up her favorite pepperoni pizza from Tony's Pizzeria, the one with the extra cheese that always made her eyes light up, and a bottle of Cabernet we'd been saving since our last anniversary. I even lit a couple of candles on the coffee table, the vanilla scent mixing with the warm smell of the pizza box. The living room felt soft and safe, the lamp casting a golden glow across the couch where Buddy dozed, the TV queued up to that rom-com she'd mentioned weeks ago. I was excited in a quiet way, like a man who still gets butterflies thinking about his wife after all these years. Around 7:15, her phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. She glanced at it, and that small, private smile curled her lips, the one that used to be reserved for me when I'd surprise her with flowers or a bad pun. She looked up. "Marcus, honey," she said, slipping the phone in her purse. "The girls from class want to grab drinks downtown. Study group turned into happy hour. You okay if I head out? I promise I won't be too late." There was that familiar knot in my stomach, the one I'd been ignoring for months. The late study sessions that ended after midnight. The new perfume, she said, was just a gift from a patient. The way her phone was suddenly always face down. But I swallowed it. "Yeah, go have fun," I said, forcing a grin. "Text me when you're on your way back. Drive safe." She pecked my cheek, quick, almost absent, and grabbed her keys. The door shut behind her with a soft click that echoed louder than it should have. I sat there, staring at the cooling pizza, the candles flickering like they knew something I didn't. Buddy lifted his head, whined softly, and rested his chin on my knee. I scratched behind his ears. "Yeah, boy. Me too." An hour passed. Then 2. My text sat on delivered. "Everything good? Miss you already." I tried to distract myself, flipped through channels, scrolled my phone, even did a load of laundry. But the silence pressed in. At 10:45, worry turned to something colder. I paced the kitchen, the linoleum cool under my socks, replaying every little shift. The way she started locking her phone, the new lingerie I found in the laundry that wasn't for me, the nights she'd come home smelling like cologne that wasn't mine. At 11:18, her message finally came. Staying at Lisa's tonight. Drinks turned into a sleepover vibe. Love you, XO. No apology. No details. Just that. I stared at the screen until the words blurred. The house felt suddenly too quiet, too big. I walked into our bedroom, opened her nightstand drawer. Nothing. Then the closet, behind a stack of sweaters, a small zippered pouch. Inside, a cheap black burner phone. Passcode still our anniversary date. I powered it on, hands slick with sweat. Notifications flooded in from him. Can't stop thinking about last night. When can I see you again? Photos. Her in lingerie I'd never seen. Him shirtless in a hotel mirror. Plans. Asheville next weekend. Tell him it's a study trip. And the one that stopped my heart. Once we get the condo sorted, we can leave the grease monkey behind. You deserve excitement, babe. Grease monkey. Me. The man who'd rebuilt her car engine twice. Who'd held her hand through Ava's emergency appendectomy. Who'd danced with her in the kitchen to Garth Brooks at 2 a.m. when the kids were asleep. I collapsed onto the bed, the phone dropping to the carpet. Buddy knows my hand. Whining. Tears came hot and fast. Betrayal like a fist to the chest, stealing my breath. I cried quietly, the way men do when no one can hear, remembering our first kiss behind the bleachers after a football game. The night we brought Ava home from the hospital, the way Lauren used to look at me like I was the only man in the world. Now those memories felt poisoned. I stayed there until dawn, Buddy curled against me, the house still except for the hum of the fridge. The next morning, she breezed in around noon, smelling of unfamiliar shampoo and looking too refreshed. She hugged me, kissed my cheek. Sorry about last night, babe. The girls needed a vent. I nodded, stomach churning, and said nothing. We had lunch, grilled cheese, her favorite. But the conversation felt forced, her eyes darting to her phone every few minutes. I watched her pack for work that afternoon, noticing how she double-checked her makeup, how she chose the black dress that hugged her in ways I hadn't seen in years. Over the next 2 weeks, I became a detective in my own house. I tracked the bank app late at night, the blue light harsh on my face. Small withdrawals, $1.50 here, $200 there, labeled school supplies or coffee runs. They added up to over $18,000 in 6 months. Credit card statements, hotel charges in Charlotte, lingerie from a boutique downtown, airline miles racking up for conferences. I cross-referenced dates. Her study weekends matched perfectly. I hired a PI, an old high school buddy who owed me a favor. His report arrived in a plain manila envelope. Photos of Lauren with Nathan Brooks, a pharma sales rep in his late 30s, tall, gym-built, driving a leased BMW, flashing a smile that screamed, "Trust me." Them at cozy diners, her hand in his, stolen kisses in parking lots, a weekend getaway to Asheville under the guise of a nursing seminar. And the kicker, Lauren had co-signed loans for him, using our joint equity, totaling $150,000 for his business ventures. If it tanked, we'd lose the house, the kids' college funds, everything. The emotional toll was brutal. I stopped sleeping. I'd lie beside her, listening to her even breaths, wondering how long she'd been pretending. One night I sat on the porch at 3 a.m., Buddy curled at my feet, staring at the stars and thinking, was I really that boring? That replaceable? The pain was physical, chest tight, throat burning, tears I couldn't stop. I called my brother from the garage, voice cracking. How do you unsee this, man? How do you keep breathing? He listened, then said the words that stuck. You don't have to breathe the same way anymore. You can choose a new way. But I didn't explode. I prepared. I moved half our savings to a new account in my name only. I met with a divorce lawyer quietly. I updated insurance policies, named my sister as guardian if anything happened to both of us. I printed every screenshot, every bank statement, every photo. I kept the burner phone, kept the evidence growing. The confrontation came on a rainy Saturday in March. Lauren announced another girls' weekend in Asheville, the same weekend Nathan had tickets to a pharma conference. I smiled. Have fun, babe. Drive safe. She left Friday morning. I waited until evening, then drove the 3 hours to the mountain lodge where the conference was held. Rain hammered the windshield the whole way, wipers thumping like my heartbeat. I parked across the lot, hood up, watching through binoculars as she stepped out of his rental car, arm linked in his, laughing under an umbrella. My hand shook on the steering wheel. I waited until they were inside, then sent one text from my phone, no burner needed. A single photo, me standing in our living room, holding Ava's soccer trophy from last season, Buddy at my feet. Caption, don't wait up tonight. No one's waiting for you anymore. I watched her phone light up through the lobby window. She froze, face draining of color. Nathan looked over her shoulder, confused. She spun, eyes scanning the lot. Found me leaning against my truck, arms crossed, rain soaking my jacket. She rushed out, heels clicking on wet asphalt. Marcus, what the hell? How did you? I didn't raise my voice. I know about Nathan. The condo, the money, the texts, all of it. Her mouth opened, closed. Tears welled. It's not what you think. I was going to tell you. Save it. I handed her the envelope. Divorce papers, already filed, along with a demand for repayment of every dollar she'd taken. Sign, or we go to court, and the police get the fraud evidence. Your choice. She stared at the papers, hands shaking in the rain. Nathan appeared behind her, smug, fading to panic. This is between you two. Stay out of. I looked at him, really looked. You're the one who's out. And if you come near my daughter or my wife again, that fraud charge becomes federal. I have friends and know people. He backed off, disappearing into the shadows. Lauren sobbed, signed right there under a street lamp, ink smearing with raindrops. I didn't mean for her to go this far, she whispered. I just wanted more. I felt the last thread of love snap. You had more. You had us. I drove home alone. The rain never stopped. Buddy greeted me at the door with frantic licks. I sank to the floor, hugged him tight, and cried. For the life we'd lost, for the man I'd been, for the woman she'd become. The divorce dragged. Court dates where she fought for assets, her lawyer twisting facts, but the evidence was ironclad. Lauren got supervised visits. Nathan fled town after his job imploded. The kids struggled. Ava's tears at night, Tyler's sullen silences. But we rebuilt. Family therapy, weekend camping trips, me teaching them to change oil in the garage. I met Emily, a fellow coach. Slow dates, real laughs, no rush. Pain fades, but lessons stick. Trust your gut. Love yourself first. And sometimes, walking away is the strongest play you'll ever make. If you've ever felt that quiet shatter of trust, that moment when the mask slips and the truth stares back, hit subscribe right now and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss the next one. Drop the word enough in the comments if you've reached your breaking point and walked away stronger. And tell me where you're watching from, whether it's under Charlotte's starry skies or a bustling New York street. I'm reading every single one. You deserve honesty. You deserve peace. You deserve to be the hero of your own story.